This program was brought to you by Organo Gold. Organo Gold is a health and wellness company that provides healthy coffees, teas, and chocolate. All one has to do is consume the available products to get all the available benefits. One can also share these products with others to help them improve their health as well. For more information, call 703-359-5642 or visit the website basillemba.com.
And now, Fairfax Breakfast Club with your host, Basil Lemba.
Welcome to the Fairfax Breakfast Club show. My name is Basil Lemba and I will be your host. The Fairfax Breakfast Club is a weekly program in which we bring to you valuable and workable know-how you can use to improve your networking skills and grow your business. We always start the show with a quote. And today's quote is, "Be of service. Whether you make yourself available to a friend or a coworker, or you make time every month to do volunteer work. There is nothing that harvests more of a feeling of empowerment than being of service to someone in need." And that is from Gillian Anderson. Today, with us in the studio, we have someone who works very much along those lines. And her name is Kristina Deignan. Hello, Kristina.
Hello, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. So talk to us about your company, the name and what you guys do.
Well, my name is Kristina Deignan, and I'm the Director of Individual Giving for Volunteers of America, Chesapeake. We're a national organization, but the Chesapeake is an affiliate in the Washington, D.C. area, Northern Virginia, and Baltimore, Maryland. We've been around for 117 years. That's a long time. And so we have corrections, substance abuse, supportive and transitional housing. We have intellectual disabilities, veterans.
Now, Volunteer America, what does that mean? That means you find volunteers to help with those different services?
Well, we have 31 programs.
Okay.
So, for instance, if we have a homeless shelter, unfortunately, more and more people are becoming homeless. And so a person will come into one of our shelters and say they're ailing from substance abuse. We actually have programs to help them with their homelessness and their substance abuse. So they can come in, we can help them with employment services, pick them up, help them up, but there's rules and regulations that they have to follow. So it's not a handout, it's actually come on in, follow our program so we can make you more self-reliant.
Can you tell us about the rules and regulations?
Well, they differ from each location, but you have to abide by our rules. You have to be drug-free. You have to make sure that you're meeting with your caseworker. You have to be we have times, and you have to be in at a certain time.
Is this stated got to be in the house, like a curfew type thing?
There's a curfew. There's also, in the morning, we want you to get up and start looking for a job. So you can go to our computer room, or you can physically go to job interviews. And so we help you do that.
Where are you located? In Arlington?
I'm in Arlington, and my territory is the Northern Virginia area. But like I said, we have locations in Baltimore, Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many shelters do you guys have?
Well, in Northern Virginia, we have Mary Marshall, which is an intellectual disability location. The residential program of Volunteers of America Chesapeake is in Arlington, and that's substance abuse and early recovery and homeless shelter. We have Bailey's Crossroad, which is a thermo emergency shelter in the winter, but then also a homeless shelter all year round. And then in Virginia Beach, we have an emergency shelter as well. In Loudoun County, which is not too far from here, we have a family shelter, and there we deal with children.
I gotcha. Who started that organization, do you know?
Yeah, Maud and Ballantine Booth. 117 years ago, they decided that they were going to break off from their father's, the Salvation Army.
Oh, the father started Salvation.
Yes, isn't that amazing?
They have in the blood then.
Yes, and Maud
wow.
Booth had a very soft spot in her heart for corrections, for prisoners. So that's why we have the reentry program. We really believe about giving second chances. It's not about turning your back on the ones that need it the most. It's actually about giving a hand and helping them up, which I love. I mean, this is like a dream job for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've been volunteering since I was 16 years old. The minute I got my driver's license, I drove to my first homeless shelter. And I've been volunteering ever since. And now it's something that I do every day. I can help in many, many ways. Being the director of individual giving, I bring awareness to the organization. I work with other organizations to do service projects. Some, like the Sheraton in the Pentagon, has come to do landscaping for one of our shelters to make it look nice. So when you walk up to the shelter, it actually looks manicured and landscaped. Freddie Mac came out to the Bailey's location. So we get a lot of corporate sponsorship, and we always need more. I mean, there's always a need for more. But it's amazing to me to see social responsibility is becoming a much needed necessity in today's life. It makes you feel good to give back, but it also makes you realize that there's people out there that really need your help. And that's what I love about Volunteers of America. There's something, if you're passionate about one of our 7 core service lines, there's something for everyone. We just don't have the animals. Not yet, maybe.
Interesting.
Yes.
So how did you get into Volunteer America?
Well, just by pure luck. I was on the internet looking for a job.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a different job. I had been doing sales and marketing for a long time, and thought, because I have such an outgoing personality, that was the only thing I would ever do. And then, but my true passion was helping others. Like I said, 16 years old, my grandmother worked in ID services with children. And so I got to see her work with intellectual disability services, just purely children, and she had the patience of a saint. And so I grew up knowing I have to give back. It's our duty to serve. And I love it. I wake up every day happy, more happy than before.
I can understand.
Yes.
I worked myself in a non-profit organization for 10 years, as I mentioned.
Isn't that great? Wasn't it the best?
Is it? Of course, naturally. It is a blessing, because it is funny to me when I get back into the business world, which I still do non-profit work. I mean, our foundation, which is the foundation, this is non-profit work, naturally.
Yes.
But there is something that was very striking to me when, for the little time when I went back to the commercial arena. In non-profit organization, when it comes time to leave the office, people say, "Oh my God, we need more time. We want to work some more." Right. In a commercial, they are watching at the clock, because they want to run out there. Right. You got to think with this. It's very striking, because, quote unquote, they are getting paid in a commercial arena. Right. but they will leave. And here you have people who are sometimes not paid or barely paid. Right. You sit there and really.
Yes. I can tell you that my colleagues, whether they're in our home office, which is in Lanham, Maryland, or if they're in Northern Virginia, my colleagues are dedicated. They care about the clients. They care that their success rate is high. They care that they get the people, the programs that will specifically help them with what they're ailing with or what their problems are. And it's a beautiful thing.
Well, being that this program is about non-profit, let's talk about it. I worked in it for 10 years. I do know that the non-profits are the organization that keep the world going. Right. Now, let's give to the credit to the Bill Gates of the world, the Warren Buffett of the world, but the non-profit is what keeps the shows going. Yes. I'll give an example of that. There's a lady here in Herndon. She started a clinic for kids or people who couldn't afford at all. Right. Most of them foreigners who couldn't afford the insurance. Okay. And she's fighting, she's we've got to do this, get the money, get the doctors and everything else. Right. And people ask, why are you so worried about them? Yeah. And she said, if one of those people get contaminated with the disease, the whole community is going to suffer. Yes. It's like a cancer that spreads. Absolutely. Which is amazing. People stopped. When she explained that, everybody said, oh, yeah, she's right. Right. And compare that to a structure where if you come, they say you have to pay for your services. If you don't have the money, they can service you.
Right.
And here she's opening the door for everybody else. And true, if something bad happened over here, the whole society is going to pay for it.
Yes. That's no different than someone losing their job, becoming homeless, and not having a program like Volunteers of America Chesapeake to come to. Can you imagine if we didn't exist? We've been around for 117 years, and I can't imagine a day that we wouldn't be here. And that's the scary part. And unfortunately, our budgets are being cut, you know, like everyone else's. And so we're relying heavily on the public and corporations to reach out and say, you know, Volunteers of America, they're doing a great thing, and we need to support them, because that's one less homeless person or one less person ailing from substance abuse that is in society not getting the help that they need.
How many people come through your doors each and every month, week, or year?
Oh, those numbers I'm not 100% on. I know that in Arlington, for instance, we have a 44-bed shelter. All of those beds are taken.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there's a major need of so many more.
And we help 1 out of every 3rd person in Arlington right now with homelessness. That's a pretty good number with all the other organizations out there helping as well. We help 1 out of every 3.
So the other 2, they don't get help?
Well, they're getting help maybe either from another nonprofit.
If they do, we don't.
If they do, we're not sure. And we also, our budgets are tight. We're about, for every dollar that's donated, 87 cents of that dollar goes right back to the programs.
What is that your organization needs? You need the people, you need the fund, we understand
We
that.
need funding, we need people. We need people to really understand what we do and to be passionate about it. And that's really important. Because at Volunteers of America, Chesapeake, we're in your communities. This is your affiliate. We're trying to make this world an even better place. And the people who need help are the people that may be straining other parts of, say they go into a hospital because they're not getting the help they need. Well, if they come straight to one of our shelters, they can get employment services, they can get clothing, they can get food, they can get better, and then we put them back on the street, self-reliant. So our goal is not to give handouts, as I said before. It's definitely to make that person a better person, better than when they came in.
Put them back on their feet so they can go and take care of themselves.
Yeah, and that's the real passion behind Volunteers of America. That's why it's so great. So like we were talking about volunteers, if your organization, your neighborhood, your church, you can come in and cook a meal, do a game night, mentor a client. You can be a buddy to a client, because these clients typically don't have anyone. We're their only family. And so that's a huge situation. I mean, if you lost everything and you don't even have family and you're coming to us, we kind of step in and become that family member that you don't have.
Yeah, and that gets me to this question. Who are the people coming to you? Because
everybody.
Sure.
You have the people who are living paycheck to paycheck and might need like emergency services for funding. And we might have enough money to help you with your mortgage.
Okay.
We have people who are veterans that are coming into our program. Which is unfortunate, because this is someone who protected us, protected our country. And then, the face of homelessness is changing.
I know, I imagine.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
With today's economy, it can be your neighbor you're sewing. Next time they're sitting out there.
Right. Absolutely. Foreclosures were at an all-time high a few years ago, and but the client testimonies is amazing, because that's when they tell you where they came from and where they are.
You never know.
You never know. Some of them the stories are heartbreaking. You can kind of start to really get involved in the story, and you forget you're sitting there with a bunch of people listening to the story, because we do tours, and that's, I would like to offer your viewing audience, we have tours. So if you want to see the inside of one of our homeless shelters, you can give me a call and I can set up a tour for you, so you can really see what's going on. But the client stories are just riveting. I mean, from the moment when someone was 2 years or 3 years old, they can remember the horror, and now they're an adult living from their past. So it's quite amazing.
I'll tell you what I would do. I'll give you a table at our next expo on December 6th.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Are you going to come for a tour?
Yes.
Okay.
I guess I better.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. It's very generous. I really appreciate that.
The least I could do.
That's so nice.
Yes,
Yeah.
the least I could
You're going to
do.
help a lot of people bring awareness to an organization that doesn't really, it's kind of the nation's capital's best kept secret.
Mainly because at the times we are today, really, because you can be hit of no fault of your own by anything and everything. The individual is very insecure
Right.
in what can happen today.
Yes.
So in 24, 48 hours, and in a minute,
Right.
your conditions can totally, completely change.
Totally. You can lose everything in a moment's notice. And that's why it's so important to give. Our Call to Care campaign is one of those opportunities for someone who may not be passionate about anything, but they want to give, but they don't have time to give themselves. So the Call to Care campaign allows you to donate, and that will go to the most neediest location or program in our nonprofit, which is nice. But yeah, you always have to know that you never know what your situation will turn out to be. You have to be grateful every day.
You have to be, and that's what I like nonprofits, and that's what organizations run nonprofits, and that's what we do.
Right. That is our national affiliate. Our national is affiliate is located in Alexandria for the whole entire country. And that's their title. This is why we do what we do.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I'm part of it.
You're part of it. Yeah.
I'm higher. I just didn't know.
You're trademarking us.
No, I totally understand, and I can barely speak, really, as you can see,
Right.
because I sense the deepness, the value of it.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you this, do what you can, whatever it may be. It can be giving time, it can be giving money, it can be, you have the website or the Volunteers of America there. Contact them, email them, and do whatever you can. If you cannot, because you're contributing to the non-profit organization, that's all right. But if you do not, please do something at least for that organization. Life is not a game that gets played with one single person. It's a group activity.
Right.
Being there's a group activity, what happened over there will affect you.
Yes.
I think Martin Luther King is very known for this quote, which may not necessarily directly related to non-profit. It's an injustice anywhere in the world, an injustice for all mankind.
Yes. 100%. Yes.
Same thing, a human being having challenges in their life somewhere, from my point of view, is also the challenges of the rest of mankind.
Yes.
We cannot turn the eye, we cannot ignore those people.
Right.
Even if only temporary, and we know that life can happen.
Yes.
And truly, we do what we do,
Right.
but it is our responsibility to lend a hand.
To help each other.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I can't imagine.
To me, that's fundamental.
Yeah. It's a no-brainer for us. But for some individuals out there, it's all about them. And that's hard.
Yeah, I do respect that whole about you, but this is a perfect story told by someone, or a story put by someone. They say, if you thought that, if you're still thinking, or you were not aware yet that life is a group activity, if you were to be put on those shuttle that goes to the moon, and they take you to the moon, and then they leave you there, you by yourself.
Yeah.
Every 15 seconds, you'll be calling Houston because you want to talk to somebody.
Yes. Right.
Yes. You couldn't just stay there by yourself.
Right.
So that's the proof of it. And I go even lower. I come even back to the basics of it. Do you eat bread? Most of you, yes. Do you make that bread? No. Who makes it? Another human being.
Exactly.
Do you drink water? Yes. Who put that water in the bottle? Did you? No. Another human being. So we depend on one another.
Right.
That's a society. That's what the society is. The definition of society
Right.
is human being and their relationships.
Right. Can I say something?
Of course.
We are so accustomed to tell someone how great this restaurant is.
Mm-hmm.
Or, we comment on their shoes and say, oh, where did you get those shoes?
Mm-hmm.
I want us to change the way we think and we speak and say, you know what? I just volunteered at this amazing nonprofit. I want to tell you about a great nonprofit doing great things. Because we have to change the way we think, because it's not working by being selfish. You really need to give. Yeah, it's not about the material things. It's really about helping one another. And our core values is caring, because we care about our employees and our clients. Respect, because everybody should be treated with dignity.
Most definitely.
Faith is in the middle for a reason. And then quality. We want to give these clients the quality that they deserve to be better, to go out back into the world and just be amazing. And then trust. We want our clients to trust us. We want our employees to trust us. We're making decisions that are going to be very beneficial for everyone. And so those are our 5 core values, and every day we live by them, or we try our best to live by them.
Of course.
And that's what's so awesome about Volunteers of America. Yeah.
It's definitely clear that if the mindset of one and all was to help and care for another fellow,
Yes.
this will make the planet look like the Bahamas.
Oh, yeah. It'd be paradise. Yes, I agree.
I mean, stop everything, everybody help and care for the other fellow. It will make it look like the Bahamas. Really.
Yes.
It will be like a vacation.
And in today's society, we see that. We see people help out at Katrina and the tsunami. But every day, we don't see that love for one another or that care or concern. And that's my battle to bear. I'm trying to bring awareness, one person at a time. So.
Well, it shouldn't just be because it's too easy. A Katrina, so dramatic that, of course, everybody goes on it.
Yes.
They'll send money to Katrina, but they may not give the money to the neighbor who having an issue.
Who
And then
really needs it.
I don't want to get this. I'm not coming across. I want to criticize. I'm interested in raising the awareness.
Raising awareness.
That's what I'm saying.
Perfect. That's perfect.
I'm raising the awareness. Yes, Katrina people need some help. Yes, the New Orleans people need some help.
Of
but
course.
believe you me, the neighbor next to you could use some help. Helping them carry the grocery, or the old lady opening the door, what have you. These are the actions that we're talking about.
Right.
They're just as important as Katrina or whatever else.
Exactly. Yeah. And can you imagine if we had if each nonprofit, including us, had the marketing power of a Katrina catastrophe? The things we could do every day. We would end homelessness. We would end substance abuse. You know what I mean? So that's a goal of ours. We want to end homelessness with affordable housing. That's one of Volunteers of America Chesapeake's #1 goal, is to get affordable housing on the forefront of people's minds. The rent around here is astronomical. How can a homeless person get a job and be able to afford something after they get themselves back on their feet, along with our help, and there's nowhere to go? If we're cutting government funding for housing, it's going to be a drain on society. So affordable housing is on the forefront of Volunteers of America Chesapeake's mind.
That's fundamental.
Yeah.
It's about you asked me the reason I worked for a non-profit organization for 10 years. It come about a very simple word. That word is spelled H-E-L-P.
That's a great word.
Let me give that to you again. H-E-L-P. Help one another.
Yeah.
I think that's what the greatest philosopher ever said.
Yes.
It's about helping one another. Yes, by all means, help the Katrina people. But don't forget your neighbor, your co-worker, or the organization which are poorly funded, work against all odds to keep the show on the road. These are the non-profit organizations. Support them. Without the non-profit organization, we wouldn't have a world. Period. End of story.
I like it.
So go to the website, Help Volunteers for America, or any other non-profit organization. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
This program was brought to you by Organo Gold. Organo Gold is a health and wellness company that provides healthy coffees, teas, and chocolate. All one has to do is consume the available products to get all the available benefits. One can also share these products with others to help them improve their health as well. For more information, call 703-359-5642 or visit the website basilelemba.com.